Glenn Greenwald has published a new piece working with NBC News, interestingly, discovering that there is this. Remember when Richard Nixon? Many of you are not old enough to remember, but you've in all probability read about it or heard about it. When Richard Nixon had he had the plumbers, he had his dirty tricks department. Don Segretti and these guys, Chuck Colson and company. These dirty tricks guys. What they did basically was they put phony stories out about people. They trashed people's reputation. They got the IRS to investigate people. They tried to blackmail people like Martin Luther King. J. Edgar Hoover was apparently involved in that. He had audio of King apparently having an affair and was trying to blackmail him with it. King wouldn't have nothing to do with it. Said, "Go ahead, I don't care, make my day." But there was a, in some cases, successful, COINTELPRO, COINTELPRO sometimes it's called, which was the basically, let's do false flag operations. Let's basically propagandize the American people. Let's define our enemies and take them down. Let's define our friends and build them up, and let's do it in the media. And from Nixon's enemies list, in fact, several people on his enemies list, they aggressively went after in ways like this. All of this stuff back in the early 70s provoked Senator Frank Church in 1975 to convene an investigative committee, or provoked the Senate to authorize Senator Church to convene an investigative committee, which met in 1975 and 1976, to look into these abuses by the Nixon administration and make some very, very specific recommendations. And, basically enough is enough, right? And in fact, there's just this great quote from Senator Church and his committee about what they were discovering. He went on MSNBC's Meet the Press in August of 75. And he said, and I quote, "In the need to develop a capacity to know what potential enemies are doing, the United States government has perfected a technological capability that enables us to monitor the messages that go through the air. Now, that is necessary and important to the United States as we look abroad at enemies or potential enemies, but we must know at the same time that capability at any time could be turned around on the American people, and no American would have any privacy left, such as the capability to monitor everything, telephone conversations, telegrams. It doesn't matter. There would be no place to hide." And then Frank Church went on to say to the American people, "I don't want to see this country ever go across that bridge. I know the capacity is there to make tyranny total in America, and we must see to it that this agency," he was talking at that time about the CIA, and all agencies, the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA, which at that point, the existence of which was illegal to disclose, and all agencies that possess this technology operate within the law and under proper supervision so that we never cross over that abyss. That is the abyss from which there is no return. End of quote. Well, what has been released by Glenn Greenwald is that GCHQ, which is the British equivalent of the National Security Agency, the NSA, has a dirty tricks group. It's called the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group. And according to Greenwald, and I quote, "Among the core self-identified purposes of JTRIG are two tactics. One, to inject all sorts of false material onto the internet in order to destroy the reputation of its targets, and two, to use social sciences and other techniques to manipulate online discourse and activism to generate outcomes it considers desirable." And then he talks about some of the tactics that this group boasts about in these secret documents that Ed Snowden released. They include, quoting from J.T. Riggs' stuff, false flag operations. This is where they post material to the internet and attribute it to somebody else. fake victim blog posts, pretending to be a victim whose reputation they wanted, a victim of the individual. Oh, so-and-so, he's been stalking me or whatever. And posting negative information on various forums. There was this top secret presentation that was put together that Snowden released to Greenwald some time ago, and Greenwald went public with yesterday, that JT-RIG, the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group, would leak confidential information to companies and the press, post negative information on appropriate forums, and actively try to stop business deals and ruin relationships. They had honey traps. This is where they would trap somebody using sex, using presumably prostitutes. They would write emails and texts to family, friends, and colleagues of somebody pretending to be them and damaging their relationships with family, with friends, and with colleagues. I mean, this is like really creepy stuff. Frank Church, as I said, he said, I don't want to see this country ever go across that bridge. That's the abyss from which there is no return. I know there's capacity to make total tyranny in America, and we must see to it that this agency and all agencies that possess this technology operate within the law and under proper supervision, so we never cross over that abyss. Well, friends, we apparently have crossed over that abyss. So the question is, how do we dial this stuff back? Nobody is seriously talking in our government about dialing this stuff back. Outside of maybe Rand Paul, and his conversations are not really serious. They're posturing for his, run for president in 2016. Barack Obama, as Senator Obama, was condemning this kind of stuff when he was running for president, but now as president is saying it appears cool. What do we do about it?
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
I think the first and most important thing we need to do is have a new church commission, a new church committee. The Senate needs to appoint a committee to investigate this stuff and put somebody like Pat Leahy in charge of it.